Hi guys, Scotty here with another DBZ Dokkan battle video. Today I'm going to be taking you through how to farm correctly for your awakening medals. We've all been there. We suddenly inexplicably run out of Gregory medals or Jerome medals or bubbles, whatever it is, and you just suddenly everything stops and you've never had to farm for this before, and suddenly you need to go and quickly grab some before you can awaken your shiny new units. So I've segmented this video into the bronze, silver, gold, and rainbow awakening medals. I'll have timestamps for everything. I've also put the little rarities of each Capsule Corp capsule next to them so you can see on the maps when you're getting what you should be aiming for. Yes, it is confusing, the silver, bronze, silver, gold rarity, but I'm guessing that first one's meant to be white even though it looks like silver, and silver is bronze and gold is silver and rainbow is gold, so super confusing, so nice to just have it on screen there. But anyway, let's jump into how you can get bronze medals and Gregory's, Giro's, or bubbles. So your first port of call is going to be the Bubba shop. Just pop in here, go through to trade points firstly, and she is constantly having sales on different medals. You can see we've got rainbow medals here, we've got Elder Kai's, North Kai's, let's see, we've got Giro's there, Popo, Masaroshi. So here in this instance, we haven't found any bubbles or any Gregories. So if that's what you were looking for, you'd be out of luck here. You need to wait the 30 minutes or refresh with stones, which I really don't advise doing. You can also come into the Zenny tab here as well, and you should just straight up be able to buy some in here. Again, this is going to refresh, so you may not be able to if you've already bought some. So if you come all the way down here, you can buy 10 straight up for 45,000 Zenny, and that'll refresh in an hour. That's not going to help you though if you need more than that amount. As well as if you don't have enough, if you're just starting out and you don't have enough Bubba points, what you can do, easy thing to do, is go through to the event tab here, go to story, and choose a story where you can just drop random SSRs. So let's look at this Daima event for instance here. First event is going to be dropping SSR copies of Goku, so you could just spam that a little bit. I think it does also have if I'm not mistaken, there's a bonus here. So if you run if you have Dragon Ball Seekers category, so this is a perfect event. You're going to drop a lot of extra units because of the category. Farm those up, and then for every SSR, generally you'll get 1,000 points from Bubba. So if you're running low on Bubba points, you can quickly go and farm a couple of those. And then if you look here at, say, well, let's look at a bronze medal, because we don't have any Gregories here. So like a Giro, I mean, it's 135 points. So getting a couple of SSRs, 5 or 6, you've got 5 or 6,000 points. And now you can just refresh and buy these points on the daily or every 30 minutes. Next up, we have the Battle for Awakening Medals event. So if you go through to this event, and you go through to growth tab here, you can scroll all the way down, and the Battle for Awakening Medals. Now you do need to be a bit careful here. So if you're looking for medals, you're specifically going to be awakening, you obviously are trying to awaken a unit or something. So let's go to an SSR here for instance. So go and check and make sure. So let's take this Tech Lord Slug, and let's say what do we need to do to awaken. So Tech, these are the medals you're going to require for this unit, and you'll want to go and make sure then that you choose the corresponding event here for the typing. So we're going to use Tech here for Awakening Medals. Now you'll make sure that you're guaranteed a chance to drop those medals. So that's how that works. Make sure that you go and do that. Now if you go in here, if you go choose normal, you're going to have a higher chance of bronze medals spawning in. So that's going to be your 3 bronze medals, and as you get to hard, it's going to have a higher chance of silver medals, gold medals, and then Z hard, the highest chance of the higher level medals. So if you're specifically looking for Gregory's, you're going to want to use normal, and then we'll just pop into, say, any team here quickly, and you'll want to make sure then that you are picking up as many of these as possible. So we've got looking for the white ones specifically here, so we're going to make sure we go and grab that, and then let's make sure we get another white one here, another white one, another white one, and so forth and so on until you get to the end and I'll show you guys the medals that we popped in there. Sorry, I am just skipping ahead now because you get the gist, but you can see the number of white capsules that we actually have, and that's going to be giving us lots of those bronze medals. Just skipping ahead here a little bit, we can see 7 awakening medals of white and of bronze, and 2 awakening medals on silver. There we go, we end the fight. And there we go, got a bunch of Giroux, Bubbles, and Gregory's. So make sure you do it on normal to get those ones. So that would be how to get your bronze medals. Let's move on to how to get silver medals if you're missing any of those. So again, go to the growth mission, go to the growth tab, and go down to that same mission, and just make sure that you take on the event on a more difficulty, and so maybe hard, or let's go back to tech again. So maybe hard, or maybe Z hard, and you will see more of the silver medals, smaller silver capsules pop up, and then just aim for those. Another thing you can do as well is obviously Bubba Shop. I'm not going to go in there again, you guys know, go in there and look for them. And then a couple other things you can do is if you go over to the story missions and you scroll down and you just look through these and check the information page, you'll actually see that a lot of these drop a ton of medals. So for instance here, we've got stage 6 actually is dropping your bronze medals there. Your stage 9 is dropping your silver medals on normal difficulty. Z hard is dropping gold, and then gold on normal for stage 10, and rainbow for Z hard. So a lot of these events will have that. It'll just be about coming in here, seeing which ones are currently available, and then you can grind those to get awakening medals as well. Lastly, you can also go into the Dragon Ball story up here, and just again look through some of these. There should be some ones that you can just specifically target. You go in here, like we can see, we can get Kami there, so gold, so rainbow, so for this one. And if you go through these, you'll see there are a bunch you can pretty much target farm or get specific ones, or a bunch of them. And for some reason that is showing up really small. How weird. There we go. So here we go, silver, gold, gold, rainbow. So you might just have to look through a couple of these, but this should be the one you're looking for as well in here, and you can farm those up. So that's going to be it for silver. Let's move on to how you get your gold medals. Okay, so for gold medals, I'm going to sound a little bit like a broken record here, as there really isn't much more to getting gold medals. The rainbow medals, there are a couple of different methods we can go through, but for gold, you want to just make sure that you are now doing the Battle for Awakening medals on hard, but more likely Z hard. You can just check that, but it should be more Z hard, and you'll start seeing more of those silver capsules popping up. Just aim for those and you'll be getting a bunch, as well as again Bubba Shop, they'll be in there. The story missions as well, like I said before, you can go into quest, into just the event, and then go to story mode, go to the story tab, or you can go into the Dragon Ball story and look in here. Again, that is going to get you a good chunk of gold awakening medals if you just go in and you just look at the info here like that. So that is pretty much how you get golds. Let's move on to the final one for rainbows, and especially Supreme Kais and Elder Kais and that, because those are going to be a lot that you're going to be using very often, and you're probably going to run out of unexpectedly as well. So for rainbow awakening medals, what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to make sure that you are doing the same growth mission that I mentioned with the right typing that you have checked for your unit, and just make sure that you are doing it on the hardest difficulty and look for the golden capsules. That's going to give you random rainbow awakening medals. Another method you can do is again going back to say like your story events here, and just checking again in here, not to sound like a broken record, but there we go, like stage 10 on Z hard, you can go and grind in there and get some rainbow awakening medals. Now specifically, you're probably going to run out of a certain type, the Elder Kais and Supreme Kai. Those are the most used, and those are the ones you're probably going to be looking for the most. So what you want to do for them is, if you go back to the growth event here and just check in these missions here, you can see there's some nice rainbow ones in here, so you can get a bunch there. You can't get any Supreme Kais or anything like that, but you can get these Rainbow Awakenings, which is nice for the Supreme Kais, and that you're going to want to look at sort of the story missions. This is one of the methods. You can go through the story missions. You can check missions. A lot of the times there'll be one that drops in these missions. This event might not actually be one, but if you look through here and you actually look through the missions, you'll see, unfortunately I'm not finding one here, but a lot of the time they do drop for these story events, and you'll just go through and you'll just check that you can actually get them from this event. Now, the other way of getting them is if you go over to the Bubba Shop. There are a lot more methods in the Bubba Shop of getting them. So for instance, you can see right here we've got an Elder Kai. Now that is 9,000 Bubba points, so you will need to grind up some Bubba points. But again, remember that your SSRs that you drop for free from story mode are worth 1,000 Bubba points each. So that's 9 SSRs and you get your Elder Kai. And again, this will refresh every 30 minutes. Now, there are some more methods. If you go to Treasure here as well, we can exchange some Bubba Shop currencies for this. So if we scroll along here, we can see that we've got, for instance, not there, sorry. So for instance, the metal fruits here, you can see we've got some Supreme Kai there, Elder Kai. You can go farm these. It is only one, but if you quickly need one for an awakening, that's not bad. You can go farm these from the story events as well. These metal fruits is a story event for the metal Rildo event. And there are a lot of other ways in here that you can actually get. So like battlefield memories, for instance, you can scroll down here and you'll see there are a bunch of awakening medals. It's a lot further down. Here we go. Supreme Kais, Elder Kais is 10 times in there. However, battlefield memories are a bit valuable, so they are really good for the LRs, and they are easying a lot of the LRs all the time. So might not be worth it, but again, you're going to have to decide. There's only 10 times in there, so it's 40,000 currency. So depending on how much currency you have, the Supreme Kai Stone as well. There's none in there. Let's see if there's any there. In blue gems, there definitely are some in green gems. If we go through here, can see, okay, so there's none for blue gems. For green gems though, there definitely are some, and you can always just farm up green gems and then go looking for your awakening medals here. 50 times for an Elder Kai and 50 times for Supreme Kai. So I do have a video, I'll put it in the description, on how to green and blue gem farm, and that might be your best method to just quickly get some. And that is just some of the ways you can exchange some currencies in here for your Kais. So those are all the ways you can get your different awakening medals. I hope this has helped. I hope it's a little bit of everything for someone, so that you guys can get your awakening medals a little more easily. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.